You're listening to AI Prism from Seoul Economic Daily.
A 10% market crash, a Chinese chip breakthrough, and Waymo just quietly filed paperwork in Korea. Any one of these would force a board conversation. All three landing in 1 week means corporate Korea has a lot to unpack. It's Wednesday, July 29th. Let's look at a business story shaping corporate Korea. The Kospi fell more than 10% today after reports that a Chinese state-linked firm has begun producing its own DUV lithography equipment, a technology previously seen as China's last major semiconductor bottleneck. On the same day, Waymo completed incorporation of a Korean subsidiary, a move industry watchers read as preparation for eventual cooperation with Hyundai Motor. Both developments arrive as Nvidia's $50 billion data center lease with Hut 8 renews scrutiny of circular financing across the AI supply chain. Here's what the numbers show. The Kospi closed at 6,023.66, down 10.84%, marking its third circuit breaker this month and worst monthly loss since the 2008 financial crisis. Waymo has logged 355 million kilometers of autonomous driving and currently runs driverless robo-taxis in 11 U.S. metro areas, but Korea's certification process alone takes roughly 6 months. Hanwha Ocean's operating profit rose 98% to 736.1 billion won on an open currency position, while Samsung Heavy Industries' profit rose 58.7% but missed forecasts under its fully hedged strategy. Nvidia's data center lease with Hut 8 runs up to $50 billion over 30 years, and its 5-year CDS premium has jumped to 0.82% from a 0.35 to 0.50% range since December. The government's $200 billion U.S. investment plan is now weighing a Texas LNG plant as its first project, tied to a $20 billion annual disbursement cap through January 2029. So, what does this mean for corporate leaders with Korea exposure? Earlier, we said Waymo's incorporation looks like preparation for cooperation with Hyundai. Here's what that actually means for you. If you run a supply chain or partnership tied to autonomous vehicles, Korea's certification timeline gives incumbents like Hyundai roughly 6 months of runway before Waymo can operate here directly, a window worth using now, not later. Separately, the currency hedging gap between Hanwha Ocean and Samsung Heavy is a reminder that policy decisions on FX exposure directly move quarterly results in export-heavy sectors. 3 things to watch. First, SK Hynix and Samsung Electronics report earnings July 29th and July 30th, a test of whether chip demand justifies current CapEx. Second, the FOMC meets July 30th amid talk of a surprise rate move. Third, watch for Waymo's first regulatory filings with the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, and Transport, which would signal how soon its Korea timeline accelerates. That's today's AI Prism, CEO. This episode was produced with AI assistance based on Seoul Economic Daily reporting and reviewed by a human editor. AI Prism is a Juan Ifrah award-winning series. We'll be back tomorrow.
You've been listening to AI Prism from Seoul Economic Daily.